Well, hi, we are back for another episode of Saving Hospitality. My name is Sue Peels.
I'm Eileen Meringue. Good to see you
Hi,
again, Sue.
Eileen. Hi, it's great to see you. We're continuing the hack conversation. I love it, the hospitality hacks and how it's become such a way of life. And if you're lucky to be in this industry, it's something that you learn and it becomes very natural uh, as a way of life.
100%. I think, yeah, so many things we do. At our last episode, we talked about, but there's so many more too. Like,
Yes.
what are some other ones that you do, Sue?
So around the holidays, I like to entertain and I like kind of instead of a sit down dinner, I'll do like strolling, a little bit of more of a strolling buffet, and I'll put out different stations, which I love. And that's something the hospitality industry does very well. But one of my hacks that I love is if I have all of these different decorative serving dishes and plates, I take little sticky notes and I set, and again, this is part of that mise en place that we talked about during the last episode. I set up everything the night before. I put out all of my dishes and whatever thing is going, and then I take sticky notes and I actually label, like, let's say it's salad or uh, I don't know, just ingredients for if I'm doing like a Mexican taco station. I'll put all of the sticky notes everywhere. And a lot of times I have, my husband will jump in or a friend will jump in and help. And it's really nice and easy because they know exactly where everything goes. Or if somebody brings a dish over, if I do like a potluck or something, they'll know exactly where to place it. So everything's in place and it's nice and organized. I love that. It's just a great hack that we used to do in hospitality behind the scenes all the time.
I love that. I'm going to use that one. I
It's
haven't done that.
makes life easy. Yeah.
I have something too. How many times have you like forgotten,
Yeah.
the green beans or whatever, until you're like sitting down to dinner and you're like, oh, where are they? Yeah.
Right. And then to make it all, I call it like show ready. So make sure you have your serving utensils out also. So have all of that set before. It just makes, again, that mise en place, that mentality of it's less chaos and more just organization. And it makes life so much easier. It really does. Yeah. It's fun
And that's
too.
like room rent. That's such a hospitality thing, right? A hotel thing, restaurant thing to be 15 minutes room ready.
Oh,
And,
yes. Yeah.
and I forget that people don't know that or don't do that. Even in like when I'm training somebody new at work, I have to remember
Mhm.
to be like, you need to be, and you need to hold the hotel or the venue that we're at accountable to be 15 minutes room ready. So,
Yes.
and, but it's not intuitive, like to everybody. So, again, it's just one of the great benefits we've had of being in this industry.
Yeah, and it is nice as a host if you're entertaining at home, from hospitality, we're so used to being like, show ready, room ready, 15 minutes early. That last 15 minutes can either make or break the vibe of your welcome. It can create
Totally.
massive chaos and people running around and forgetting things in the oven that start to burn, or it just if you have that extra 15 minutes baked in and everything is ready, you can just like chill and just turn on some music and create the lighting and really just get ready for a nice warm welcome. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about. And we do that in hospitality all the time. It's part of our life, right? And
Totally.
our work ethic.
The music, the lighting, all of that stuff. The
Yes.
ambiance.
Yeah.
Totally. What other ones do you have? I know you have a couple good ones.
Yeah. So I love decorating with fresh flowers. And you know me, like I'm not a flower person. I'm not flowery,
No, you're
but
not.
I
Not so
I
flourishing.
just, there's just something about when you're entertaining, decorating with fresh greens during maybe the holiday season, or some beautiful tulips during spring, or beautiful sunflowers in the fall. I just think that that also sets the mood and it lights people up. It makes them happy. It sparks joy. And I get them at like a farmer's market. I usually put the bouquet, do it myself. I'll pull some greens even from filler from my garden or backyard. And it just really is a nice touch. And then what I like to do too is give the flowers away. And we do that in hospitality, right? Like after a big event, we'll give the flowers to the staff, the housekeepers. I used to always do that. And it's so nice at the end of an event in your home, if you have flowers, to then just create little bouquets for everyone to take home from the experience they had. And it keeps that memory going.
Totally. No,
Yeah.
good one too. I'm trying to think of some more that I have. I do like to set up the bar. That's one of the big things that
Oh,
like is a task for
yes.
me is just setting up the bar with all the just because that way too, especially if, I'm single. So when I host, I'm hosting alone. So it's easy for somebody to kind of take over the bar. I've got a lot of like boozy friends. So you put out the wine, you kind of get the other wine, the cold wine chilled, and all the little things that you need, the stoppers and everything out, and the glasses out, and then also the mixed drinks too, so that somebody can just kind of easily jump in and help bartend and get that rolling for me is usually what um I do. Usually Colby ends up doing it, who you guys will probably all meet on one of our episodes. He's another hospitality guy. You know him, Sue. He's
Yes.
usually like a bar guy. So yeah. So that's kind of
And
one of the things I do.
it's fun. I love a like interactive bar too, and I
Mhm.
love shakers. You actually ended up gifting me a phenomenal shaker that I use all the time at the cottage. It has like a fun little saying on it. I love it. I'll post a picture of it in this podcast. It's like one of my favorites. But anyway, like even just like shaking the shakers and mixing the drinks and then like pouring the drinks and it's fun to kind of put on a show, even just what we used to do years ago in hospitality. I know it's still very popular with crafted cocktails is flambe, and just flaming, 151 rum and just adding a little bit of fire to it, stay safe. But it's something that we all learned in hospitality and it's still, it continues to be a trend. Super fun to do that at home. It's a showstopper.
I haven't done that at home. I just remember doing it at the hotel, doing the
Yes.
banana Foster or the Cherries Jubilee. The Cherries Jubilee you light on fire too, right?
Yes, Cherry's
Both of them.
Jubilee, Nana Foster's, but then like there's so many great drinks out there that you can light on fire and
Cinnamon, when you light it on fire and then you put the cinnamon over it, it kind of sparks. That's mine.
yes, I love that. Yeah, there's just so many cool trends and things that you can do at home and adopt at home.
Yeah.
I love to a nice personal thank you note that I think we've adopted from hospitality as well. I think that a handwritten note, whether it's after, the event, before the event, just thanking someone for whatever, their kindness, their hospitality is so wonderful.
It
I
is.
I don't think people do that as much anymore. And it's
No,
just special. And even to include like a little special memory or a recipe or just something a little different.
yeah. No, 100%. It's it's all there. Um, yeah.
Yeah. I like garnishing food too. Do you do
Like
that at all?
like I'm learning how to cook still.
Right.
So for
Yeah.
me, like, and what I struggle with that I think, because I didn't spend a lot of time I didn't spend any time in the kitchen except picking food up, what is timing. So
Mm,
like I try, like the hard thing for me is to get everything warm and cooked and but still remain hot as I'm serving it.
mm.
And like I hosted Thanksgiving last year and it was really good. But the reason it was so good is because everybody was drunk by the time the food came out because it was like about an hour
I love it.
late. I
No one
I didn't
cares,
realize
right?
how long it would take to heat up the roast or the steak and then the turkey. So, and then all the sides and stuff. Like it was kind of my first thing and I had a lot of friends helping, but yeah, I need to get better at that. So, I'm gonna use some of the things you talked about like the mise en place
Yeah.
um and just kind of maybe being more intentional about it. I can do better in that area for sure.
Yeah. I
And
like cooking things more like al dente. So if I'm cooking like vegetables or pasta, or really anything, even like seafood, a little bit more al dente, which is not completely done. It's a Italian phrase for like more firmer pasta. And then you can pre-cook everything. This again, I learned this in hospitality. You pre-cook everything, but then just warm it up, but it's still you finish it basically in the oven, pulling it out of the refrigerator so you're not par cooking also in hospitality, just par cook it. And
Yeah.
that seems to work out really well. And then I do love a great garnish. And I think that like the days of parsley and all of that have like they're gone. And I love little like edible flowers and beautiful fresh micro herbs. And it just makes all the difference in again finishing a plate. And that's what we do so well in hospitality
Yeah,
is,
like
you
a
know, a little bit
lemon
of
on
like,
like asparagus,
right.
butter, stuff.
Yes. Uh-huh. It adds a pop of color. It's just a great hack that a lot of people don't do. And when they come over, they're always like, oh, I love it's art, right? It's like a presentation of art, culinary
Yeah,
arts, which is yet another skill that we learned in the wonderful world of hospitality.
totally.
Yeah.
Make everything look pretty. Nothing
You know,
over
it's funny. We talked about housekeeping a little bit in our last chat. And I do love a really good housekeeping caddy.
Mhm.
I don't know if you have one, but I learned this in hospitality. It's just like a caddy that you can buy at any, you know, Target or Walgreens. And it looks like, just imagine you kind of hold it, it has a handle on it. And then I put all of my different towels that I use for cleaning, my favorite cleaning supplies. And it's exactly what a housekeeper would basically carry with them, room to room. Sometimes they have a cart, but the caddy works out really well. And it's all, again, it's all right there and nice and organized, for cleaning.
One of the things I love doing kind of on that line is I when I would travel to Asia a lot, they would have, we have like in the US you always have shampoo and soap and stuff, but in Asia they'd often have toothbrush, toothpaste,
Mm.
a comb, and they had a couple of like a razor and shaving cream. So I always like to have those in the guest bathroom just in case somebody, and they're like
Yes.
disposable ones or just, like they're
Mhm.
not the greatest toothbrush or toothpaste in the world. I mean, the toothpaste is good, but like they're just like little toothbrush you'd pick up at the store or something. They're nothing fancy, but it's great because if someone forgets it, it's right there. Even little deodorants, that kind of stuff where you're like, oh,
Mhm.
it's just there if they forget it. Because I can't tell you how many people have forgotten things when
Yeah.
they've come to visit, which is nice,
Yeah. And it's intuitive because you get it just kind of, it's like that peace of mind. It makes a traveler feel welcome. It shows that you care. I agree. All right. So
Yeah.
we talked about hospitality hacks that we love. Is there anything in the hospitality world that you've experienced that you just don't love? Like that just needs, I don't know, just that needs some massive improvement.
You know what I'm so over is, and they did it during COVID, and some hotels are continuing to do it, and I hate it. But it's the room service that comes in a bag, like an Uber Eats thing. If I wanted Uber Eats, I would have called Uber Eats, like,
Yes. Mhm.
and it just drives me crazy. I was at a really nice hotel in Salt Lake City, and they did that, and I was like floored. Like, how do you
Wow.
not room service anymore? And it was still expensive. There's still a delivery fee, all this other stuff. And it just, ugh, it was like, blech.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that drives me crazy right now.
You know, see,
But
the other day I was pulling up to one of my favorite this was Starbucks, one of my favorite little Starbucks stops. And they have this it's in like a little bit of a strip mall-ish area where they have restaurants. And there was a worker standing outside where you pick up where you order your Starbucks, the back of the house, right? He was outside literally smoking a cigarette, and then he just spit on the ground before he left. And he walked back in the restaurant. And I thought to myself, I'm never going in that restaurant. I will not go and get a carry out. I wonder if like he washed his hands. And what really one of my biggest pet peeves is like if you're gonna smoke, and I get that people in the industry, they smoke. If you're gonna smoke a cigarette or do something like that, just don't do it in front of an audience, your potential audience. That is just something that really has been driving me crazy lately. I've seen it a
yeah,
lot. It's interesting. Yeah. I just don't think
yeah.
people have boundaries.
Mhm. Right. Like you're always on. You're always on. And sometimes people
Right.
don't realize that even when you're on break, if you're
Yeah.
not. Hey,
And I
Um,
have to say, I don't know if I love the resort fees. I don't know if you consider that a hack, but it's a financial hack, maybe.
yeah.
I recently stayed at a wonderful resort in Traverse City, and it was more of a not a full service. I mean, they didn't have a restaurant. It was definitely not like a resort vibe, but they charged a resort fee. And I thought to myself, you're already getting a larger piece of my tax. And I didn't get any extra amenities. They didn't have room service. So there's absolutely no room service either. So there was really no extra added amenities, but I'm getting charged. It was $28 a day. Oh, and catch this, room service was not even available unless there was a 3 night minimum. So I
Weird.
don't know. That to me is a hack I'm not loving in the industry.
They're starting to do, and I don't think we talked about this last time, but I'm hearing, I haven't seen it personally, but I'm hearing um inklings of doing an early arrival fee. And it's not like a
Mm,
guaranteed early arrival thing. It's if you say, sometimes you rock up at like noon at a hotel and check-in is until 3 or 4, and usually just go up there, you put your bags in the back. And if a hotel room is ready, they'll give it to you because it just helps them, right, cut down
yes.
on the lobby at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon when all the check-ins arrive. So, but now there's hotels that want to charge for that. So
Mm,
even if you rock up and the room is ready, you'd have to pay a fee to get in there, which I think is going to really be a disservice to the guests checking in at 3 o'clock. Because what if I don't want to pay $20 or $50 or whatever it is? So I'm watching that one because that's one that I think maybe have gone too far.
that's interesting. Yeah, I know. It's like I think you had mentioned that there's like a business of hospitality or hospitality as a business. I think that'll be like a whole conversation that we'll have with one of our guests, but there definitely is a trend in hospitality as business, or is it really the business of hospitality? There's some good and bad in that, I think. Obviously everybody needs to be profitable, but does the money follow or lead?
We used to be the hospitality business. Now we're in the business of hospitality and
Hmm.
yeah, just
Hmm.
milking for everything. And yeah, you can see it. And yeah, you can
I
see it.
agree. Yeah, and I think that there's I do still believe, and I've seen it just basically on many many years of experience, and the numbers don't follow. The numbers don't lead, they follow. I truly believe in that. And I think you have to lead with service and
Mhm.
taking care of people. And again, hospitality as a business. If you put the numbers first, I do think that the loyalty is not there and maybe the repeat business might not be there. I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see over the next few years.
totally. Totes. Well, thanks, Sue. This was great.
Good. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we love your comments. If you have any great hospitality hacks, feel free to share in the comments below, and also subscribe to our channel. We would love to continue the conversation, and we have some exciting guests coming up this fall.
Wait, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,